Frank had absolutely no resistance against this little guy. He was totally trapped in a love bubble, cuddling the kid and playing. That night, Frank unexpectedly came across a voicemail message concerning his daughter and was left utterly baffled, not knowing what to do for a moment. He was puzzled why his kids only reported good news and avoided the bad, and he didn't want to be the annoying dad adding to his daughter's troubles, so he planned to head home the next day. His little daughter wanted to retain him, but nodded eventually. They enjoyed a happy dinner, and Frank saw a younger Rosie in his mind, feeling warm inside. They used to share everything, but now it felt like they were playing the dark game with him. Confused, Frank asked why they only shared with Mum now that they were grown. Rosie explained that Mom was easy to talk to. She had the title of listening pro, unlike Dad, who always wanted to voice his opinions. From childhood on, Frank had been a bit too strict with them. They didn't want to disappoint their hard-working dad, so over time, they opted for good news only, forming an unspoken family agreement. Hearing this, Frank clarified he didn't expect perfection. He had hopes for David but knew his achievements weren't free. Frank also revealed to Rosie that his eldest brother's artistic creations were being exhibited nearby the apartment, with every brushstroke deeply inscribed with the footprints of personal growth. He believed David's life was colourful. Rosie nodded, silent, knowing Frank had little meds left and couldn't endure long travel. He decided to take a flight home as soon as possible, feeling a strange mix of emotions, even though he wished he could stay a bit longer. So, he boarded a plane back home, handing off his last letter to his little girl. This time, he didn't ask Rosie if she was happy. Deep down, he already knew the answer. Watching Dad go, Rosie felt sad, but something awaited her and Amy. However, on his flight home, the plane hit turbulence from a storm, causing his health to flare up like the chaotic mealtime from their childhood. At the dinner table, Frank lamented that his journey felt like solving a puzzle, as a dad had sensed his kid's secrets for a long time, feeling a mix of emotions. First, Amy had divorced long ago. Her husband had worn the same shirt for 2 days straight, and that was just the tip of the iceberg. The male colleague he bumped into at the station was likely her new fling. As for Robert, well, the posters for music concerts plastered everywhere spoke volumes. He hadn't performed in Europe at all. It was like he was building a tower of lies. So regarding Rosie, Frank felt complicated. The neighbour's kid was clearly Rose's. As for his relationship with the neighbour, it seemed a bit steamy too. Frank sensed it but chose not to dig deeper. Finally, he turned his attention to David, inquiring about his other son's whereabouts and how to reach him. But David remained silent as thunder shattered the awkward talk. Kids grabbed plates, heading inside, leaving Frank alone in a daze at the dining table, watching the kids drift away. The next thing he knew, he found himself in a hospital. His 3 kids surrounded his hospital bed, yet David was conspicuously absent. After repeated questioning, the kids finally revealed the truth. It turned out David had long passed away. Amy said her brother faced too many struggles while chasing his painted dreams. Her mom's death hit him hard, leaving him to numb himself with drugs. Ultimately, he died from an overdose in Mexico. They refused their dad to handle their brother's passing, but they were afraid to tell their dad the truth and silently kept it all under wraps. This revelation sent Frank reeling. He felt utterly crushed. No, this couldn't be his son, no. That night, Frank had a dream where he saw little David again. His son said he wanted to be a painter when he grew up. Frank didn't guide him to be a painter. Instead, he told David that no matter what he chose, he would always be proud of him. Soon after, Frank, who had fully recovered, returned joyfully to his beloved hometown that he had been longing for. He opened a returned envelope containing David's belongings, and inside was just a Christmas invitation, along with a family photo with Mom. Frank placed the picture in a special cabinet. He understood some regrets could never be fixed, but they made him cherish every moment with his kids even more. Then he stood at his wife's grave, sharing his journey with her. Frank realized he had never truly understood his children. He thought he was giving them the best life but overlooked their inner needs. He believed he was the family's pillar, not knowing when he became their burden instead. But no matter what, he finally figured out how to be a decent dad. In the end, Frank brought up David again. Shortly after, Frank returned to New York, hoping to buy back David's displayed artwork. But he was told the artwork had been sold. He left his contact info, hoping for a stroke of luck. Suddenly, a store clerk ran after him. Upon seeing Frank's name, she realized he was David's dad and immediately apologized. She began to share some stories about David, telling Frank that David had said he wouldn't have become a painter without his dad. She seemed quite familiar with David and led Frank to a warehouse, bringing out an unfinished piece by David. As he gazed at the displayed artwork, tears welled up in Frank's eyes. His lifelong labor of love was beautifully captured by his son. Soon it was Christmas, and Frank went on a grand shopping spree. This time, he wasn't alone at home. His kids brought their families back, and they all gathered together, bringing the story to a charming close. Family Journey tells a story of family bonds, but it's more about renewal through growth and reconciliation. Through Frank's perspective, the film showcases the complicated feelings and gaps within a family, touching the heart. The father believed he traded labor for his children's success, yet he was unaware of the struggles they faced in their life. This ultimately led to conflicts and a distancing from their father. Don't forget to like and subscribe.